Okay. So, guys, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself. I'm going to unmute everybody. And if you have any question, please try to mute yourself while the session is going on so you can have a clear recording of this section. And then, if you have any question, you can use the chat box and then let me know your query so we can discuss it. I want to make this class very interactive. If you have any questions, say it now so that we would like to make your doubt to be clarified. So, some of you know me. My name is Stanley. I've worked on as a software QA automation engineer. Doing my master thesis in University of Texas. I was able to work with Mercedes-Benz in Texas in Grand Prairie. And I've currently right now I'm working with Bank of America as QA automation engineering. In my career, I started with manual testing. And then before I move on to automation, and then I have worked on API testing, which you're going to understand that as we continue this section. I work with as manual testing, automation testing, performance testing. Okay, so there are different kinds of tools available for automation testing, API testing, manual testing, performance testing. But before you starting with any of these things, you need to understand the basics of software testing itself. Okay, so I will try to keep you a constant with all the keywords which are there in the software testing today. What can be your career path in software testing? How can you switch from one part of testing to another type of testing? As I told you, I started with manual testing before moving on to automation testing. So how you can able to switch from one part of testing to another. Sorry, can you unmute yourself?
Oh, excuse me, sir. Are you running a PowerPoint right now? Because I really can't see nothing. So I'm just curious. Are you running anything right now?
Oh, can you see my screen, please?
Oh yeah, now I can. Now I can.
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you for.
Not a problem. You're welcome.
All right. So in this section, I want to tell you how you can switch from one part of testing to another type of testing. All these things will be you get to know during the course of this training today. And we will start with the introduction, which is the demo section, what is actually software testing itself. So before we start, we will need to understand three basic things. What are those three basic things? What is actually that software testing? Why that particular thing is important? And how can we do that software testing? So we start with what is software testing. Before we start with what is software testing, we want to understand what is testing. Can someone tell me what is testing? I want to make this class interactive. Speak your mind, ask questions, know your doubts and we can clarify it. So make it interactive, okay? Before we go to what is software testing, what is actually testing? And so you can have your smartphones with you in layman language. What is testing? Because we're going to deal with three things today in today's section. What is it actually? Why that particular thing is important? How can we do this thing? That is that software testing. What is testing itself? Can someone tell me what is testing? Let's talk about the software. What is testing actually? Can you mute yourself?
Okay, I can say that testing is a way of checking the functionality of a particular thing especially to know its capability, its functionality, and what it can do, if it is capable of failing or of having a chance of success. That is my own understanding of testing. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? I love that word. That's word functionality. You got to understand that today. So anyone, make it interactive, speak. What is testing to your own language? You have our smartphones. You can go to your smartphones and tell you what is actually testing. So, we have 50 people in class today. Just one person to speak. What is testing?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So many testing can be defined like a judgment of which we extend a system with practice to test if software is pass or fail.
Exactly. Okay. For two people that has just spoken, they are correct from that definition of testing. So that's what testing is. So what is software testing? Before we start, is I told you what is define what your kind of testing is. So the first thing we will deal with is what. Let's start with that what. What is actually software testing itself? These two words all together. So you know that any product, be it medical devices, laptop, be it any accessories, all of us use all these accessories, okay? So before coming into the market, there are certain types of testing which are done in each and every product. We all know during Thanksgiving, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, 14, 12 Pro Max, and all those, it's during Thanksgiving also that iPhones already release their products. They test all these particular gadgets. Okay. Someone chat on the box, he said testing the process to ascertain the functionality of a product and the value. Okay, that's fine. That's a nice one. Okay. So I resume. So that's what software testing is. So be it any medical devices, laptop, be it any accessories, all of those use. Before coming to the market, there are certain types of testing which are done in each and every product. As I told you, iPhone always release or Samsung, they release their new products, new phones during the end of the year. And these undergo different type of testing. Okay. So before you go to the market, you do a certain type of testing that there is nothing defect in that particular iPhone that you and I are using. So we must be saying this product there's some product that you say, some product you see something like ISO certified. Have anyone seen something like that before? ISO certified. Have anyone come across this before? You see one product, you see at the back, you see ISO, this is ISO certified.
Oh, yes, I've seen that before.
Yeah. So now they basically do the testing of that particular product, that this product is fit. All right. So testing is to make sure that whatever you are creating is of a good or a great quality. Software testing itself is a process to make sure a product is of a great quality. Software testing is a continuous process. Okay, I will go to make you understand first of all what we mean by a continuous process. So we discuss in detail how software development life cycle works. So what is that software testing? It's a process to make sure product is great. Okay, so it's also a continuous process. Okay, so I will tell you that because of the course what SDLC, that's what we call software development life cycle. So there you'll be able to realize the software testing is an integrated part of each and every development life cycle. It's a phase from one phase to the other, from one phase to the other. Okay, so that's what we call the SDLC. Is the phase of SDLC. It's an integrated part of SDLC because software testing is a continuous process. So you realize what the software testing is an integrated part of each and every development life cycle. It's a development life cycle. right? So you're going to know that in the next section, next classes. So it is a process to make sure product is good. This is not an actual definition, actually. Okay, it's a practice that makes sure functions are working fine. Okay, idea to enhance user experience. That's what software testing is. Okay, it's also an idea to make sure that functionality are working fine. It's a process to make sure product is good. So this is not an actual definition we find in the book. Okay, this is not an actual definition. And also, it is a practice that makes sure functionality is working fine. Any software you are making is supposed to perform certain functionalities, certain functions. Suppose we are creating something similar to Facebook application. Like we all use Facebook, for instance, take it for example. Facebook application has some functions like, what kind of function can you see on Facebook? Can someone tell me? Like search different functionalities, search web functionalities, add friends functionalities. Can someone give anyone you can see on your Facebook applications? We all use Facebook. I want to use a Facebook as just an example. What do you see on your Facebook apps?
Post image to post.
Post image, those are functions in Facebook app.
You send friend request your friend.
Request friends, yes, those are functionalities. Add friends functionalities. Write on your wall functions. So these are all functions, okay? So we can also say software testing is back-based testing that makes all these functions are working fine to the end users, okay? Before it goes into the market, before you and I uses it, it makes sure that thing is working properly. As I told you, part of SDLC that gives confidence to the product made is part of the SDLC, the phase. You're going to know that in the next section. Okay, the process, the phase. So the part of SDLC that gives confidence on the product made. So I want to elaborate on this. He said it's an idea to enhance user experience. What do I mean by that? It's an idea to enhance user experience. Okay, let's emphasize on the idea. When we create a software, there are certain plans for it. Okay, we are going to create this, which should which someone can be able to use certain functionalities. Suppose we take instance from Facebook. There are, I just said about search functionalities present. Okay, there are first search functionality present there. So if I am searching using this search engine, you can see when you try to, there's a text box, maybe you want to search a friend or you want to search a location or something like that. When you are trying to type a sort of California, you put CAI, this is wrong, okay? So there's an autocorrect that pulls up on the beneath of the text box. Have anyone seen something like that before? You much have seen that, right? You want to type something and you made the autocorrect to start giving the options. You are typing wrongly. Yeah.
Yes.
So this autocorrect is an idea which software testing people, you as a software tester, the software testing people generate those kinds of ideas by creating any software. They put all those in there. So that I say it's an idea to enhance the user experience. It is not like everything is defined in the document. Why by anything defined in the document, like in the tech team, in the tech industry, we have the business analysts, they bring all this documentation to the tech people. These are what you have to produce. Mr. A don't need to come to the bank to deposit his check. He can stay in his house, comfortable in his house, and take a screenshot, and automatically it credits to the account. So the BS will bring all this requirement to the tech team. So these are the BA, the work of the BA. They bring the business analyst. Okay, so it's not that everything is defined in the book and the software is built on that. Okay, but what software you see as an end product is the continuation of the development team. all right? Business team, and most importantly, the testing team. The testing team makes sure the product is of a quality to the end user. So as a software tester, your own aim, your profile, okay, is to make sure that the end user are having the very good user experience. There's no bug in the system. There's no defects in that Android phone when it goes to the market. They release 12, they release Pro Max, okay? So there's no bug. I want to snap a picture, I can't even to snap that picture. All those deformities is not present in that particular application when it is in the market. You own the power not to release that particular software into the market as a software tester, software QA analyst. Every industry needs you in the industry. Every industry has a software, be it microfinance, banking, healthcare, military. They need a software tester to test any application. Software testing is not actually a private thing or individual thing. It's a government thing. Government making sure that any software bit tool to be released in the market have to be thoroughly tested. In the aircraft, there should not be a crash. The pilot is driving, is piloting that particular airline. So at the same time, not like a pilot is just staying on the radar or 12 hours of flight or 10 hours of flight. He puts on autopilot. It's a software. So that software will be tested. Are you, your own profile today as a software tester, automation engineer, is to make sure that particular software is working fine. So it's part of SDS that gives confidence to the product made. I told you, go understand that in the course of study. So these are not actual definitions you're going to see in the book. So there is our organization called IS. Sorry. Just a second.
Mr. Stanley?
Yes.
Oh yeah, while you trying to figure this out, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. It's just something that I might sound fast forwarding, but I just want to ask, what kind of software do you think that we'll be working on, like we'll be testing as like
Or
a
anything.
software automation engineer?
Yeah, you're gonna understand where we continue the class. Wherever there is software in the system, you test all those kind of software. Okay. I don't want to just want to follow step by step. You understand your role as a software tester. Okay. There are different roles. Okay, different profile. That's we need to be doing that. Can you see my screen? Am I visible now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is not actually what you're going to get in the book. This is not actually a definition you're going to get in the book. There's an organization called ISTQB. ISTQB is okay. ISTQB is an International Software Testing Quality Board. Is an International Software Quality Board. Is a software testing certification board that operates internationally. Okay, so actually they govern the software industry. So what they actually define software testing to be is, from their own definition, they said actual definition from that ISTQB, okay, is that they said software testing is a process to evaluate the functionality. That's what someone said about functionality. I say you're going to understand all these terminologies before today. I'm going to make you understand all these things. So let's say software testing is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the developed software met the specified requirement or not, and to identify the defects. So all these things, you understand what I mean by defects, to ensure that the product is defect-free in order to produce the quality products. I know you might not understand what I mean by those functionalities and defects in that definitions. So there might be keywords here which you will not be find it comfortable right now. That is completely fine. But few of these things I like to discuss here is something like functionality. I already told you that and how it works. So specific requirements, you can see someone say about specific requirements, defects. These are keywords that you will learn in course of the training. So what are defects? Can someone tell me what is defects? What do you understand by that word defects? What are specified requirements, how it was? So what is defects? Can anyone omit his or herself and using the chat window and tell me what do you understand by defects?
Like a downside, a disadvantage, or something that hinders something from being productive.
Yes. Anyone has a good definition too? We have 17 people here.
Yes, on a simple term, defect can be an issue.
Issue, exactly. Anyone else?
Yeah, a defect can be like a fault when something doesn't go well on a project, so it's called a defect.
Exactly. So defect is not only related to the code, maybe the code the developer has written for you to test. So defect is not only related to the code, it also can be related to the requirement also. Okay. Defect can come with errors in the document, like the document from that documentation, you're going to understand when in next section that you control the class and training, you understand what's a defect and how to treat those defects. All right. So you got to understand all those things. I talk about the BA, the business analyst, when they bring requirement to the tech team. In that documentation, instead of that, you guys want to create a banking application. And the requirements there was written baking. And this defect was not caught. And you guys start developing baking application. And when the user log into Bank of America or Chase Bank, he saw Baking of America, Bake of America. That's a different, that's a high priority. You can understand the bugs, different type of bugs, priority bugs, and how to treat all those things. So you can cut those defects in that documentation. So what means that defects cannot be only related to codes that the developer has written. It can be from the documentation. You guys need to catch this spelling, just the simple spelling mistakes. It was not caught in documentation. And you guys start developing this application. That's a defect. You send this into the production server, and the end user is saying Bake of America. There's going to be a alarm. Am I actually landing at their particular bank site, or is it a fraudulent bank site? So it's a defect. So defect is very, very tedious, very, you need to cut those defects as a software tester. So it can cause with errors in document as well in what the developers are developing. So it can come from wrong requirements, gathering, what is that requirement gathering from the business team. So we have different criteria for having bugs or defect in that system. So I hope you all cleared on what is software testing. Anyone have any question? You can unmute yourself if you have any question on what is software testing. For the actual definition of what is software testing from ISTQB, what is defined software testing is. We all gave a good definition of testing. Okay. So what the organizations define software testing is software testing is the process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the development software meets the specified requirement or not. And two, identify the defects, all right, to ensure that the product is defect-free in order to produce the quality product. And this technology you got to understand the functionalities. It must have good functionality, able to function, right? Defects, it must be defect-free. So these are one of those technologies you will be making use of in your job. Any question? We know what is software testing before we go to why. Can meet yourself ask any question? Uche, can you hear me? Someone said I can't hear you. Can you log in and log out again?
Mr. Stanley.
Yes.
I think you mentioned SDLC a couple of times. I'm just kind of curious what it is. What is SDLC?
Yeah, SDLC is software development lifecycle. That's why I said that software testing is a continuous process, which you're going to understand in the next section. I don't want to go into detail about SDLC. So that's why I said software testing is an integrated part of SDLC. It's a fix from one phase to the other, Business people, they bring requirements. After the requirement gathering, you guys decide what kind of software you want to develop. Is it going to be what age group will use that particular application? You see most of these social media websites and everything, you must be 18 years and above to use those particular applications. So those requirements will be gathered in that phase. Business people, you sit with the business people in the tech team, they're going to be a meeting, okay, comprising of data analyst, a business analyst, a project manager, everybody, they go be in the meeting to decide what kind of software they want to build, what kind of thing they want to build for the end users. Apple brought its iPhone, that this iPhone must have a facial recognition in this iPhone 14, iPhone 15, okay? So it must have this kind of functionalities, it must have this and that. So those is an integrated part of SDS. I don't want to go too more detail about SDS. That will be in next section, all right? So just so you know that software testing is a continuous process, and that process is SDLC. Okay, SDLC is software development life cycle. It's a life cycle, a continuous process. Okay, so you got to know that in the next section, right?
All right. Thank
you. Any question? You know what is software testing, and we're moving to why. Before moving to why, have any question?
Yeah, the question I would like to ask, when you talk about the defect, yeah, some people might not know the process before every application is being or has a defect, which call bugs. So what are the process before it gets to defect for you to discover this product is defect or has a bug?
Yes, that's why I said you got to understand the terminologies, how to defect. It's the way they handle defects, bugs in the system. You got to know that in the next couple of sections. There's a tool, they caught a defect. That's what your profile. That's your job as a software tester. If you're not able to catch a defect in the system, that makes you not a good software tester. So you need to catch a defect. You need to think as an end user. Okay, but you proceed as you proceed, got to understand more about their defect. But defect is deformity in the system. Okay, so that's your job. The developer builds the application. Your own is to break it and see how you're going to behave. Okay, your own is just to catch the bug in the system. You do a kind of permutation and combinations, but I don't want to go into more detail about it, but you understand more as we proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? You can unmute yourself, please. Okay, we know what is software testing. Then you can see this diagram. You can see the controversial issue within the developer and the tester. The developer is saying 4, but the tester is saying 3. So you can't make controversial issue. And that's one of those things you ask your interview questions too, but you're going to understand that. I'll tell you much about that. Sometimes you might have a defect in the system and you find it caught those defects in the system. And the developer says it's not a bug. And you say it's a bug. So what are you going to do in that particular scenario? So these are kind of behavioral interview questions being asked. You caught a bug in a system and you show it to the developer, and the developer say it's not a bug. He didn't say that. So what are you going to do in that particular scenario? These are kind of typical interview questions being asked in the system, okay? So I'll make it clarify to you. So that lab there, the diagram there is telling you what the kind of controversial issue is going to happen in a team, okay? That's your job. That's your profile as a software tester. You test the application, you find a defect, and the developer is claiming it's not a defect. You take a screenshot, have a large meetings called the business analyst. They know much about, they have the documentations and everything. So how are you going to treat this particular scenario when it happens in your team? So those are kind of interview questions being asked, typical interview questions. All right. So so you always want to break the system as a tester. All right. So that's it. I'll get to understand there as we proceed. Do I have any question before I proceed to why we have to do this testing? Any more question? No question? All right. Why? Why software testing? Why software is important? Okay. Why do we need to do this testing? Because developers and business analysts are humans. Can someone tell me what I mean by this? Developers and business analysts are humans.
I think they are liable to make mistakes.
Is that correct? Anyone else?
So as a tester,
It's not an ideal world.
All right.
Yeah, our business analysts are human because every project passes through them before the end users.
Exactly, because developers and business analysts are all humans. Because they make mistakes in their requirements. I talked to them about Bank Baking of America. They didn't call those defects in the documentation, so we don't give a huge defect. That's a priority bug. Defects in the system. So they are humans. People make mistakes. Okay. So whenever we are creating any kind of requirements with specification, or the developers are developing the code, there are high chances we commit some errors. So I always talk about SDLC, like I told about SDST, but you understand that later on. In SDLC, the software testing is as important as the development phase. Just as developers are humans, business analysts are humans, the testing aspect as developers are developing the software, they are humans as well. They are also liable to commit the mistake. And how to reduce the mistake, we will understand in the course of the training. All right? So, secondly, it is not an ideal world. What do I mean by that? Why do you have to do software testing? Because it is not an ideal world. What do you understand by that word? Ideal is something personal, English term. All right? Something to you, ideal. Now, it is not an ideal world. What do I mean by that? You can meet or say, I want to make this class very interactive. Ask questions. For you to be a good software tester, I'm able to communicate. Your communication skills must be there. All right? Yes.
An ideal word is like a word that is phrased like 100% accurate. You can't trace any error into it. That's for me a definition of an ideal word.
You said there's no error in it. Okay, you say there's no error in it, but that's your own ideal personally. But what about to others? It is not an ideal world. The world is evolving. There are people also that are there, okay, that are going to use our application. So what is your own personal thing you're saying that is to you is good? What of the others? Is it good to them? Is it going to work for them? It's not an ideal world. Can anyone elaborate on that again? Is anybody, can you have any idea? What I mean by it's not an ideal world. Personally to you, it's working fine, right? What of Mr. A? What of those in China? What of those in Africa? They are acting those in ever-evolving worlds. So what of those in Australia? Is not an ideal world. That's why you have to do the software testing. Any idea? Anyone? You can unmute yourself. Okay, it's not an ideal world, meaning suppose we create a software, okay? You create this software, all right? Maybe Facebook, all right? You create a software. And the developer who was working on it right through the development life cycle, all through the time he work on Linux machine, okay? He did it, he's going to work on Linux machine without thinking that the end users will start using this particular software more on Mac or Windows. Someone else told me that, okay, something's going to work for me, everything is fine. That's what I told you. What of those using Windows? So people are using the Apple, okay? And you build this software only to work on Linux machine, everything work on Linux machine. They didn't think people are going to use it on Mac or Windows. So before he started, or the developer, before he started the development, he made an assumption, the way you just think. He made an assumption that the software should work only on Linux machine. All the specification gathered by the business analysts, all the requirements that were gathered by the business team.
Use your microphone. Title bar. Close. Button. Use your
Please, can someone mute yourself, please? Okay, so all the specification, all the requirements that were gathered by the business team, everything is working perfectly on Linux machine. But once the software is installed in the Windows, it crashes. That is why we say it's not an ideal world. Meaning whatever assumptions you made in the beginning is not going to work. That is why we need you.
Demo session. Camera or microphone on recording. Mute my microphone. Computer on. Connect. You are unmuted. Unmute my. More audio controls button.
Okay, can someone mute yourself? So that is why we need someone in the team who is thinking out of the box. So there comes importance of you, the software testing guys. As a software tester, we should always think out of the box. Don't just always rely on the documents, okay? Don't just rely on what the developers are they're telling you to test. To be a very good software tester, you must be a very good user. If you are a very good user of any application, you are going to test very thoroughly. All the use cases, and the scenarios will come to your mind on your own. I need to test this way. I need to do a lot of permutation and combination. You think a lot of things to build that particular software. Don't rely anything on the book or what the documentation, the business analysts, people give to you. You have to test thoroughly. From the slide I showed you, it says developers is saying 4, but you are saying 3. You got to know much about that. So if you are taking that product as an end user, you must test it thoroughly. That's what I mean. It's not an ideal world. Another thing is that customers are king. Do you know what I mean by customers are king? Do you understand what I mean by customers are king? Anyone else? Customers are king.
From my understanding, I think so you making everything easier for the customers to use. I think so.
Mhm. Yes, anyone?
Like you respect your customer.
Yes.
It means
Okay,
that customers comes first in
first.
everything. Yeah.
All right, customer, yes, that customers are king. So another point here I'm saying is that customers are king. Like customers are king. That is why each and every company is spending a lot of dollars on software testing professionals. The market force of software testing professionals is growing day by day, even in this Dallas metroplex, in the US, in the United States, and over the world. It's growing day by day because of the competition in the market. For one kind of product, just one kind of product, you have n numbers of applications available, be it social media, we have Facebook, we have TikTok, we have Twitter. There's so many of them in the market. So be it social media, be it banking, Chase Bank, they want that their customers should always screenshot their check and deposit into their account. They need that software too. They put a secondary application like Zelle into the application. You can use Zelle. There's a third-party app. They implementing their own application, their own banking app. Okay, so that makes customers are king. So there are numerous of applications out there in the market. Social media, be it banking, be it microfinancing, be it customer relationship management, be it healthcare. For one kind of requirement, we have at least 50 kinds of products available with you. So it is up to customers what they are going to use. And customers would like to use what is easy to use, which is user-friendly, as we call it. What is it interest to use it? Like example, like the social media. I took example for Facebook and other social media websites. Now, why is it that two or more social media platforms are popular and some others are not popular? Can someone tell me that? Why this one is more popular and this one is not popular? There are a lot of this in the market. Why is this one so popular and the other one is not popular? Why? Can someone tell me?
I'm not sure. Probably because they advertise their products.
Yeah, there's product products. That's one of those, but main thing why some software like, unless if I even leave the social media application, if I talk about some McAfee and all those kind of antivirus and all those stuff like that, Notin antivirus, numerous of them in the market, antivirus, a lot of applications. Let's even leave the social media. Why is one more popular than the other? You can see that because it's usability, right? Usability is one of those things. All right. Number two is that is what, as you say, is user-friendly. One of those things. Now, what makes software user-friendly is user-friendly means your application is easy to use, right? It's bug-free, and all these we have different kind of platform available. We are using social media on desktop. We are using social media on mobile phones, from our tablets. In mobile phones, also we have Android, we have iPhone. So on each and every platform, if any application is working fine, then that we say is what? Easy to use, user-friendly, right? Because I was able to use it on Android, iPhone seamlessly. Okay? that's why we have to do the software testing. Another point is diversified usage. What do I mean by that? Diversified usage means we are using it in Android phone, Linux, Windows-based applications, Mac, and we can say diversified usage means because people are using it all over the world. I know most of you have logged into application and you want to download in English. The word is saying, we say it's a small village, okay? There are no kind of products which are created for any country specific these days. All the products which are there in the market is for everyone, for all around the world. Talking about general products, you can download it in English language, you can click and download it in Chinese language. So diversify usage. So who is going to think out of the box these days? These are the software testing people. Why are we creating software and it's only in India? What are those in China? And you have to implement the software there so you're able to download that localized language. Localization is what I'm talking about. Right? Any question? We know what is software testing and why do we have to do this software testing? Any question? You can mute yourself and ask your question, please. Should I proceed? Okay, what and why? Then now is how do we do these things? Now, discussing on how software testing can be happened. There are different ways how we can do software testing. Number one is manually. Database testing, automation, API, performance testing. So can someone tell me what is actually manual? Manual. We say manual. Yeah, do something manually. I'm asking you all this because I want it to be interactive. I want you to ask questions. I want it to be clarified. I'm sure that you are really clarified in what you are embarking on. What do I mean by manual? Manual. You do something manually. What is actually manual testing? You have a smartphone with you there. Just type in what's manual.
Yeah, I think manual can be defined as something you're trying to put together by yourself, not machine.
Exactly.
Something you put yourself without machine.
Okay, anyone else?
Manually is by a human being. You do the testing today, they perform the test manually, like it's performed by a human being, like us.
Exactly. Yeah, manual intervention. Okay, no other automation involved or anything, or AI or whatever, manually. So manual testing is the most important part. Okay, so manual testing is the most important part of any kind of testing you can do. Manual testing is making sure that your application is working fine by working on it manually. We are not doing any kind of automation right now. So no database query. You're not getting any query from the database, from the complaint database. You're just doing it manually. You're doing kind of combination and permutation. This is your Gmail account, or this is a banking application. Make sure that user are able to log into their username and password and able to land into the application, able to land into the web page. You do it manually. They're giving some data, okay? I mean, a domain stuff you can use to log in. When you're in the industry, working in the IT industry, you're doing kind of manual testing. They give you kind of, the company provide their kind of data that you can use to log into test for testing, okay? So what you do is that you just log in, that account information and able to log into that particular page. The user can able to check his account. You do that manually without any automation, any database query, any Java or whatever to run that particular. So that's manual itself. So you're not doing any kind of automation right now, no database query for the server, and not get anything from the query from any server. So while doing the manual testing, we need to work as an end user. We discussed a lot of things why software testing is important, right? So, because while checking anything as a manual tester, you have to, you behave like an end user. While behaving like an end user, many ideas will come to you which are not there in the requirement documents, okay? As I told you, you don't rely on what the BA gives you after the meeting and everything. You still have to do your own thoroughly to find out the defect or the bug in that system. So you do combination and computation. I will explain that to you as you proceed. But don't always don't only rely on that documentation after the meeting. Okay. So you have to test thoroughly for it to be a very good tester. You have to do manually. So while checking anything as a manual tester, you behave like an end user. While behaving like an end user, many ideas will come to you which are not there in the requirement documents. As a manual tester, you will do a lot of what end users. That person using that particular application, you test as they are to use that application. You behave like an end user, as if you are the one having that application on hands. So you have to test thoroughly. So a lot of what end users are going to do, so many stupid thoughts becomes to your mind. Suppose I'm to log in. For example, let me take an example right now. Let me say something like, suppose I'm to log in into an application, but by mistake, I have deleted that application. But it was not intended for me to delete. But when I was clearing the cache, your computer, you have cache, the delete cache and all stuff like that. So all the useless application from my mobile phone, I also end up deleting that application. So this is outer boss will come to you when you will be doing a manual testing. What if a user is able to delete this application mistakenly? So how will the application behave now since it has been deleted and most photos are gone? How is it going to behave if I reinstall the application? How is it going to behave if I'm logging into using desktop? Suppose I want to use it as a localized language. I don't want to use it as by default English language. Each and every application these days comes with what? Localization. What I mean by localization is that it will support your local language as well. I told you, like, some applications, you see China, you see Iranian language, you see Romanian language, you see different Spanish language. So how is it going to behave when users are able to download it in that particular application? So how is it going to behave in a localized manner? All these things we get to know when we are doing our manual testing. Okay, maybe for instance, you log into, I have a 1% battery power level remaining in my mobile phone, and I'm shopping on Amazon website, about to make payments of some dollars from Amazon, for instance, and my battery is going to die. So maybe I have a low battery. So what Amazon can do, actually, their website, is that the people in the testing team, they create a software that will give an alert that how is it going to read from my device that my mobile battery device is about to die? Please put it in each other before making payment. So all these kind of ideas will come to your mind when you'll be doing manual testing. So manual testing is all about thinking out of the box. That's what you need to understand. Have it in the back of your mind. Manual testing is thinking out of the box. You have to act as an end user, as if you are the one using the product. Don't rely on what the business analyst is giving to you. The data sciences, the product manager, don't rely on those documentation after the meeting. You have to test thoroughly for it to be a very good tester when you go into the industry. Okay, so you should know that is a building block of even automation testing as well as manual testing. Because whenever requirement comes to the tech team, you have to do manual testing of it before you start automating. All this database, API, manual is a building block of any type of testing in the industry. So for automation testing is basically what you want to test again and again. Okay, so automation testing means whatever task you are giving, you don't want to repeat it again, so you don't automate it. So what you need to do about all these kind of testing, be it manual testing, database testing, automation testing, API, performance testing, they are not competitor of each other. All these testing, be it manual testing, database testing, automation testing, API testing, performance testing, they are not competitor of each other. They basically complete each other. We need to understand the database testing as well, the API testing as well, performance testing as well, manual and the automation testing as well, which is the most important part of testing. This manual and automation, this is the most important part of testing. All these type of testing are important as the other. You cannot choose one above each other. That is, manual is much important. Okay, you can't say because we are doing manual testing right now, I will say, okay, don't focus on manual testing. What all these things complete each other. It's not a competitor of each other. You must know all this, fair bit of all these things. So all these types of testing complement each other. They don't compete each other, they complement each other. You must know fair bit of all these things. You went to school to read medicine. That's general medicine. But what is your specialty? Medical surgery, gynecology, right? So, but you know fair bit of all these things in your medical career. So testing itself is a full stack profile. Just like we have UI, we have what we call UI developers. We have UI developers. We have front end. We have front end developers. We have back end developers. We have database developers. Similarly, we have manual testing guys, database testing guys, automation testing guys, API testing guys, performance testing guys in the industry. And you need to be good in all these testing to be a good QA member, quality analyst of the team. Right? Any doubts, please ask me. Any query? Before we move on, we'll talk about what is software testing, why do you have to do this, and how we can implement software testing in the industry. Any doubts, ask me. It's a career path you have to go into. So ask me questions. Make it interactive. This is a section to ask before we can proceed.
Can you please explain more about the automation testing. You said
will-
manual and automation are the most important part of the testing among all the one you listed. I
Yeah,
understand the manual, but the automation, I want you to explain it more further.
I don't want to go into technical details about automation right now. Like a comment comes to you that you used to log into your, make sure that user is able to log into his account. So you're working in Chase Bank as a manual tester, software tester. You are doing manual testing of that particular banking application. Now they give you a data to test. Okay, they're going to give you dummy data. These are for you people testing people who test an account, account number, all those things. It's not for the user. It's not a very account. It's a very account that's for testing. They're called data to test. Okay, so you have to log into username and password. It's for that purpose of testing, so the user can be able to land into that particular web page or log into that particular account. You see his profile, house address, age, all those things being created there in that particular banking application. So that's manually, you're doing that. So automation is doing the same, want to do the same thing again and again. Instead of doing the same thing and again, you just automate it. Like you're driving your car, you don't do manual intervention in your car. It moves by itself. It change gear, just like that, it moves. So automation is that, I don't want to go into technical detail about it. I don't want to get you scared about it, but don't get it twisted. Now, for you to be an automation engineer, you need to know a fair bit about Java when you automate a lot of things. Java is that particular language that you use. You're not a developer though, but developer builds an application. Your Windows is built with Java. Your Android phones is built with language. They have languages, C#, Python. So for you to test these applications, for you to be an automation engineer, but right now you're learning manual, okay? You're a manual tester. So migrating into automation, I told you I started from manual testing, moving to automation. All right. So there is a language a developer using building that particular application. It can build with Java, it can build with Python, depends what the test architecture is being built. So instead of me logging to that application again and again, doing manually, I've tested this yesterday. It's working. I have like numerous of applications I have to test. Where I just sit on the screen and start testing again and again and again, what do you do? Just automate it. Okay? You just automate. Automation is something like, I don't want to show this to you right now, but let me see. Can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is a Java programming language, okay? But don't get scared. I just say just in high level. Okay? Don't get scared. So you're trying to log into, they said you should, I'm using a Gmail application for instance. Okay, Gmail application. Make sure the user is able to log his username and password, and you will log into that Gmail. It's able to type in that particular password and username and password and click on that submit button and you open that particular page. So instead of you doing that, because you have numerous, because requirements are coming to the banking industry, requirements are coming to the healthcare industry, you have numerous of files, numerous of applications you have to test. So instead of you testing manually, you can't sit on the screen, start testing manually, you just do what? You automate it. Automation is that particular tool, which is a tool using doing automation is, which one is popular in the market is what they call Selenium. It's binded with Java, you understand? Java, so you don't understand Java languages, you don't need to be a Python developer before you need to use Selenium. So it's a language binding. Okay. So I don't want to go into more technical details about it. So what you do is that you are just have to just automate this and say run as Java application. You can see this thing will open the browser and Java is going to launch, and you see your username going to type in. You say you open the user, you open the you say they type in that stuff and it clicks. So I don't want to go into, you go understand it, don't get it twisted, don't worry about it. I don't want to. So for you to be an automation engineer, this is what you do. You need to learn Java, not learn Java in detail like that, but you need to learn Java as a tester. Okay, what you need to do as a test automation engineer, you need to learn that Java, not in total of Java, but Java for testing. Okay, and right now, what you do is a manual tester, where you're a QA analyst. All right. For you want to migrate to be an automation engineer, they need to learn these language skills like Java, binding with Selenium for you to automate it, because that's one of those tools you have to learn to become a QA automation engineer. But right now, in this course of study, you are a manual tester, a QA analyst. You're doing it manually. So it's a lot of just of interest if you want to migrate into to become an automation engineer. Then you learn the skill of Java, binding with Selenium, so you can be able to automate this thing in your industry. Okay, do I make it clear? I don't want to go into more technical details about it, but I just want to just give it a high level so you understand what it is. Instead of sitting on the screen, type your username and password, doing this manually, you just write the code, and automate it, and you see that everything is running in your screen, just like that. So it kill much time than you sitting down doing manually. Any question, guys? Do I make it clear to you?
Yeah, thank you.
So that's how we do software testing, manual database, automation, API, performance testing, but we won't clarify that for what it is. Any question? Be vocal, please. Can someone tell me what is database? What do you mean by database testing? What do you mean by database?
I think database can be defined as an organized collection of structured information, like a data being typically stored in an electronic way into a computer.
Yes, I get a query for somewhere. Okay. We have talked about manual testing. We do it manually, right? So database testing, how do you do testing? Database is kind of in the industry, everything, all information is being stored in the server. Okay, that's why people so people are talking about cybersecurity. One of those prerequisites for it to be a cybersecurity is you may know about the server, you may know about database, because cybersecurity is most the server. Okay, so your most prerequisite for it to be a cybersecurity, you must know about database. Okay, using a SQL language, a language called SQL, for you to query that particular language. For a Chinese man to understand your language, you must speak Chinese language. So SQL is a language that the server understands, the database understands. Okay, so if you're working in industry, you're working in the banking industry, be it microfinance, be it healthcare, or every workers, every customer information is stored in the server. And you as a manual tester, you need to query this server to check if this functionality is working fine. If the test box is able to accumulate that particular, all right, this text box is able to accumulate this particular numbers, numerical figure, if it's alphanumeric, Or is it just alpha, or just numeric numbers? Everything is being stored in the server. The employee's ID, the age, the location, the salary end, all those things being stored in the server. So what can you use to query the server? Is that what we call SQL, database testing. I have to run the SQL query. So you're going to understand this in this course of training. SQL is that language for you to query the server. I have to run kind of combination and permutation, do some SQL queries, select from user employees info, where the age of this student is less than one. Even in university, every information is stored in the server. So that's why I said, you as a tester is needed in every industry because you know all these things. That's database testing. Automation testing, I just give just a high level of automation testing. The tool they use for automation testing is what they call Selenium, which is popular in the market, and it's binded with Java. You understand these languages, you understand Python, you understand C#, Ruby, all these languages, you understand all these things. So you don't need to be, okay, I'm a Python developer, how will I be able to run Selenium? No, Selenium understand these languages. So the one I just showed to you is Java, okay? For you to be, as a manual test, as a automation engineer, you don't need to know in depth of Java, just the basis for testing. Okay, so don't for you to migrate to that. I will tell you more a bit of that in there if you're depending on your interest, if you want to migrate it to be an automation engineer. But right now you are a manual tester, testing manually, which you know fair bit of all these things. Okay, so that's automation. Then API testing. Do anybody understand what is API? What is API?
Yeah, I have no idea, but I know what APR is.
Is there anyone else? Frank, do you understand what API is?
I think API is an application. This application. I think like application performance interface. Yes.
Yes, it's called application programming interface.
Okay, programming interface.
Application programming interface. Yes.
Yeah. It's called application programming interface, and it's very in demand in the market today. What I mean by that is for instance, if I say this is a Facebook application, okay? This is a Facebook application. This is a Facebook application, and let me put it this way. Let me say this is a Facebook application, okay? This is the server, okay? So your application is sending, when you log into your application, okay, there is a middle layer right here that intercedes between these applications, which you call the API, okay? When you log into your username and password, not that you quickly get information from the server. No, there's this processor right here, which is an API that processes these applications. Okay, because this thing is being said through what, if you remember what is there anyone know anything about HTTP? If you log into your application, you see HTTPS/www.gmail. I mean, you see that when you're logging to your website. HTTP. No, it's not HTTPS. It means hypertext transfer protocol secure, because Google makes it to be secure. Any application, any web services going to the internet have to be secure. That we call it HTTPS. All right. So when you log into your application on Facebook, automatically you are sending a request. All right. You are sending a request via HTTPS. This is a request to the server. So server process it and send it back to you before you're able to log into the application. So you are getting all your information from this server via what they call HTTPS. Okay, the middle is HTTPS and the format is JSON or XML. I don't want to go into more technical detail, but you're going to understand that when you start doing API testing. Okay, so what you need to know in a nutshell is that when you log into your Facebook account, you are not automatically getting that information from that Facebook. There is a server being hit. Okay, server processes it, and sends you back the request. This is the request, and this is the received response. Okay. So you understand what API is. It's an application programming interface. And it's being processed through what? An API, the business logic, a middle layer. The API processes it and sends it back to Facebook. All those information when you sign into your username and password, when you create an account on your application, that username and password is being stored in the server. So you're not trying to log into that server creating your username and password that you already created. There's an API that is being hit. Okay, whether you're logging to your Android phone or you're logging the client, you call it the client, the Facebook is the client, or your mobile phone you're holding is just like a client. Okay, so you can log into your Facebook with your client, which is a mobile phone, or you can log into your Facebook through your Windows or your Mac. All these are all clients. Okay, so when you log in, there's a server that is being hit. Okay, the server processes it, you send a request to wire protocol, which is JSON or XML, and via HTTP protocol. Then the server processes it and check if that username and password is being stored before it then send a response back to you before you're able to log into the application and be able to log into that particular page. So that's what API testing, and it's really in demand in the market. All right. So that's what API testing is. But I don't want to go into more technology today. That's what we're going to do as a manual tester as in this course of training. All right. I hope I just make it a little bit clear to you what API testing is. Then talking about performance testing. Performance. You can view my profile, you can view my PowerPoint via Zoom. We're used to communicate to you all right now. That Zoom is an application. Okay. Your Bank of America is an application. Your Twitter is an application. Your Facebook is an application. These are huge applications. All right. So performance testing, that particular testing that you do when business people constitute a team, you ask them as a software tester, you say, is PT needed? When you say PT in industry, in IT industry, it means performance testing. Is PT needed? PT is needed in terms that this Facebook application, Facebook is a huge application. That means thousands and millions of people are going to, a number of people are going to hit this particular application. So how is this application going to behave when numerous of people are going to hit these applications? How is it going to behave? Sometimes you see some website being slow, redundancy in the rest, redundancy in the application. It's too slow because a lot of traffic. So you have to do performance testing of it. And the tool you use in performance testing is what we call Blaze. Blaze, and there's what we call JMeter. Those are tools used for performance testing. All right. So don't get twisted. You're going to understand that very clear and easy. All right. So I just want to give you a high level of performance testing is, because performance testing is that kind of testing that you have to test the redundancy. You have to test that performance of that particular application. If any number of people are going to use, that's what you ask them in the tech meeting. Is this application, does it need PT? Performance testing. Your business analyst will tell you, no, it doesn't. Just a few people are going to use the application. No, don't. If 100 people are going to use the application, don't need that. You don't need performance testing. But when you have any number of people using that particular application, then you have to do performance testing of it. That's why some application is being crashed. It's too slow. There's redundancy in the code, in the application. So because there's no performance testing being done in that particular application. So you as a manual tester need to do all those testing. But you're going to get it, as you continue in this course of training. Any question? Doubts, queries?
On the performance testing, the question is there any requirements for performance testing, like the volume of people or the volume of minimum of number for the end user to understand, okay, this is the number of what we need to use or what we need to start off?
That's what I said in the business meeting, okay? The BA this requirement to you guys in the tech team, all right? So you as a QA analyst, you as a QA tester, you as a software tester, we ask, do we need PT to be done in this application? This one, you have to be vocal, all right? Your communication skills have to be there. You have to talk, all right, in the meeting, because most of the job, let me tell you, 70% of the job as a software tester is always meetings, meeting. When you're a code office, it's just 30%. We do a lot of meetings, I must tell you. 70% of the time is meetings. You meet with the DAs, the BAs, everybody, the project manager, everybody. You have a meeting. No week, every day. Every day, like 4 times a day, meetings. You have scheduled meetings. You have meetings. Every day there's meetings. So in these meetings, you have questions. There are documentations being spread. You are discussing it. You are minutes on it. You ask questions. The QA members, the QA teams are there. The BA teams are there. The project managers are there. The DAs are there. Everybody's in the meeting. So when I start telling you about software development life cycle, it's awful. And we have SDLC, we have STLC, right? We have SDLC, we have STLC. Okay, these are different phases. This is for you. This is for BA people. You as a QA, you go to be present in this meeting. Okay, you have to be there in the meeting.
Okay. I think we understand the SDLC, like a software development life cycle. So what's the STLC, the meaning?
I don't want to go into more details about it. That is another section we don't do that. Okay, I just want us in a high level. Okay, so your question is that you are talking about performance testing. You have to ask the question. This particular, how many users are going to use this application? Okay, if 100 people are going to use the application, you don't need PT. Is PT needed? No, just 100 people are going to use the application. We don't need that. But this is a huge application. Bank of America is a huge application. Chase Bank is a huge application. Okay, healthcare.gov is a huge application. The Obamacare and all is a huge applications. Everybody has to log into an application. Everybody has to check their insurance. It's going to be traffic. So you have to do performance tests of that application. So it won't crash. How to do that? We learn that in course of study, right? But the tool we use for performance testing, which is Blaze, and the popular one is called the JMeter. For automation testing, there's a tool which is called Selenium, which is very popular in the market. But you're going to know that as you proceed in your automation career. Anyone else, any other question?
Mr. Stanley, I have a question. I think you probably have said this before, but I just want to be clear. So you said during the meeting, right? You might ask the process owners or the managers if a particular software needs testing. Like that depends. Like if we have a software that has 100 number of people to use it, then we don't need a test. So my question is there like a specific number of people using a certain, like a particular application before we can say, oh yeah, that needs a testing. So what's the number? So do you need a testing for an application that requires like 1,000 people, 2,000 people? So what's the minimum number of,
It's all depending on the requirement or the documentations being brought by the BA people. Okay. So if there are no numerous of people using the application, that means it's only PT. I can't tell you there is a figure or a yardstick where you can able to know what the analytical skills, analytical tool. The BA people knows they know where the traffic is coming from. They have what they call the analytical tool they use in doing this kind of testing. Okay. If they know where the traffic is coming from, they have the kind of analytical tool, Google analytical tool, Microsoft analytical tool, where these users they're going to use most traffic is going to come using Google Chrome. The traffic is going to come on Google Chrome. So when you talk about cross-browser, I don't want to go in more detail, but you understand that as you proceed. Okay, there's what we call cross-browser testing. Okay, where you're going to test in different browsers, you're going to test in Microsoft Edge, you're going to test in Google Chrome, you're going to test in IE, you're going to test in Firefox. So these people, they know, they have this kind of tool, kind of analytical tool where the traffic is coming from. They say, okay, you have to do more testing in Google Chrome because our clients, they'll always use Google Chrome in launching their browsers. So any other one, automate it. Okay, IE does do automation on it. Okay, but minor testing of it, do probably testing to be that of a Google Chrome. Then when it comes to IE, Firefox, do automation. I just showed you automation is where you run your code and just automatically enters the username and password and click, everything's working fine. My code is not breaking. If his code is breaking or is not really allowing into that particular application, that means there's a bug. You have to raise the bug and take a screenshot and show to the developer, and then they fix it. So how to do and fix those particular bugs, we learn that in the course of study.
Okay, so what
all depends on yeah.
Okay. In a nutshell, now what you're trying to say is, if any PT is going to come, so it means the required document comes from the QA, BA, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no minimum, just depend on the required documents.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the documentation. Yeah. So that's why I told you, don't rely on the documentation. Ask questions. You have to query. That's the quality assurance. The company needs someone to assure that product. That's the profile. Your job. Your job description is to assure that product. Companies that are possibly paid millions of dollars on that particular project. They need someone like you to assure that particular product. So that's why you are there. You are present in all those meetings, asking questions and querying those measures. And when you go to your testing phase, you have to do kind of permutation and combination, trying to break the system and see how it behaves when it's going to get into the system. That there's no defects, as we said, before you go into the environment and launch it to the application server, production server. Or what you see on your Facebook.com, Gmail.com, and different applications, chasebar.com, those are in production server. They're already in production. All right. You're going to see that when we start doing those API testing and see how those things be done. There's different testing server where you're testing apples. Or you're going to know that in course of study. Anyone else?
Okay. Last question, please. If I may ask, before you perform any documentation, any PT, so does it really have a requirement time? Probably on the meeting, does it have, maybe the demand is high by the requirement document, does it have a minimum or maximum time for every testing to work on?
Yes, we will know that when it comes to, there's one they call the agile. We will call the agile method. There's a continual phase. Is a time iterations. 2 weeks maximum. We have to produce a particular application. That's why you got to understand that at the course of study. There's a kind of iteration phase. Okay, you understand that as you proceed in course. Who is taking vacation? Who is going on leave? Who is we want to embark in all these things. There is a kind of you guys got the Scrum team, okay. So you are because a Scrum team, and there's a time iteration, 2 weeks maximum. Sometimes I take 3 weeks. Some companies like mine takes like 3 months. Depending on your organization you're working with. They say that these particular applications, we have to hit the production server in a timely manner. So start working on it. Everybody goes to the decks and start working. Okay, every 2 weeks iterations we release. Sometimes when you go to your when you open your Microsoft what I say, your Windows, your computer, sometimes it says your updates. Okay, so there's a kind of software that's being released every day. You work on all these things. They release every 2 weeks. They release. They say even your iPhone. They say you update your iOS. It's a release. iOS 18.1.0 is a released. So they're working on it, bug fixing, defect fixing, try to release more, So the people in the iPhone team, iPhone company, they're working on all those things. The tech people, the software developers, the software testers are working, not testing all these things. So there are time iterations, 2 weeks maximum, 3 weeks maximum. We will have to deploy this particular application for our users. That's why you can look at your phone, you said install new application, download new application, updates. So a bug fixing, well, you go understand that when it comes to, we're going to SDLC in detail, all right? So there's a time frame for that. Anyone else?
Thank you.
I'm not hearing from the girls. Anyone? The ladies? Any questions? Should I proceed? Any questions? Please ask. Should I continue? Okay. So we're all here. We need to know our path. What is our career path? What does the future holds as a software tester? What you can do as a software tester in an IT industry, okay? What you can become in an IT industry, what your prospects as a software tester. When developer develop that particular applications, you test it and make sure that it is defect-free before it goes in. You have the power to hold that particular application. The Gmail application has a sign-off. The banking application has a sign-off. The e-commerce application has a sign-off. E-commerce, like that of eBay, that of Amazon, it has a sign-off button right there. Who does all those sign-off buttons? Is the QA, the quality assurance people. They do the sign-off of it. That application is working fine before they can be able to do the sign-off, before they release the application. So you hold the power not to release an application. It's not going to the environment. They are stopping it because there's a bug. There is a bug in the system that you detected, so it's not releasing. You cannot release it. So you use the power. Okay. So what is your career path in as a software tester? What are you going to become as a software tester? You can either be a test architecture, you can either be a project manager, automation expert, performance expert, okay, and a QA or a QC expert. Now, you can see the diagram by the right-hand side. You can see what it is and your parts as you engulfing, as you're moving ahead, going forward as a QA in your job, in your career. So you can see that when you are starting your career, maybe you are less than 2 years of experience, then we are a junior tester. All right. At that point of time, we need to learn each and everything I just told you. Each and everything. Whatever I told you about manual testing, I told you about automation testing, I told you about database testing, I told you about API testing, I'll just give you just a brief information and brief knowledge about performance testing. So you need to know fair bit of all these things when you are going 2 years below down the line. When you are going to the point of being a test analyst, okay? When you're going to be a test analyst, we need to know fair a bit of all these things. What's manual testing, automation testing, API testing, database testing, manual testing. We need to have idea of all these things. How to do performance testing, API testing, all those things. You need to know a fair bit of all these things when you have 2 years down the line. At around 5 years, around 5 years or 6 years of experience, people generally become QA leads of any type of particular testing. Maybe you are the QA lead of manual testing because you are QA expert in manual testing. Any application you are given, you are able to think about what kind of manual testing you can happen on this application and what is the requirement and what actually the end user are having, and having all these ideas are able to do in your teammates, okay? How the end users for this application, how they're going to behave in that application. So you need to know fair bit of all these things. So be a QA lead of manual testing, that means I should know only manual testing. It doesn't happen in the industry like that way, okay? Because you're a QA lead of a manual testing, that means you only know about manual testing. No, it doesn't happen in the industry like that. You should know a fair bit of everything about manual testing, performance testing, just a fair bit of all those things. Not because you're a QA lead of that manual testing, you should know already about manual testing, no. Okay, so you should know a fair bit of all those things. At that time, you will become a QA lead when you have that particular 5 years So these days, we should know about automation testing also. You should also have idea of performance testing and API testing as well, which we're going to explain to you in the course of training. So you can see in today's world, when the competition in each and every field is so high for the QA members, manual testing and automation testing is the minimum requirement. You should know about manual testing completely, automation testing also, and you should also have a fair bit of ideas in other domains as well. And you should be expert in any one or two of these, because like I say, if we say manual automation testing are minimum requirement, then you will basically become a test architect, okay? Which is the minimum requirement. It should be a test architecture. So now, can you tell me what is a test? What is an architect? What is a test architecture? What is a test? What is the work of an architect? That's all. Tell me what's the test? What's the work of an architect?
So I feel like I feel like a test architect is somebody who designed the testing procedures, like somebody who outlines how the test is going to take place.
Exactly. Anyone else? As work with test architecture? Anyone else? What's the work of an architect?
I think he designs whatever will be used for for testing a specific program. But he's the one that designs like the blueprints and everything else. Designs what.
Exactly. It's also it does with designs. Okay. You see in the everyday world, he had what the architecture does. They design a home, houses, and everything. So it's the same thing in test industry. Basically, what test architecture does, they are the people that create the framework. What I mean by framework is that if I say any requirement is coming, if any requirement is coming to the industry, you as a test architecture, you have to create a framework right from the scratch. Framework is not only for automation testing, okay? You can create a framework for overall design. In automation testing, what we call framework is as we have what they call hybrid framework. We have what they call data-driven framework. Data-driven framework. The different framework, we have what we call hybrid framework for in automation, all right? We have what we call data-driven framework, what we call the hybrid framework. These are framework when it comes to automation. You can create a framework for overall design. So innovation testing, what we call framework is as hybrid framework, data-driven framework. So, but framework is to create an overall design. We can create framework in automation testing, also in API testing as well. We can create framework. So by doing manual testing, you can create test plan. All right. You're going to know that what test plan is when we start the next sections, okay, as you continue in the course of study. So by doing manual testing, you can create test plan, requirement, designated matrix, okay? All this we can create. These are the responsibility of a test architecture. These are the responsibility. It creates framework. So these are the responsibility of a test architecture. And if you will believe me, okay, these are, you see, the project manager, test architecture, automation experts, performance experts, all these are highly paid jobs in the industry. Because I'm taking this section of manual testing right now, say, okay, just focus on manual testing and then you'll be fine, or you will have a good career path in project manager and become a QA expert. Now, you should have a fair bit of all these things. And if you have expertise in all these things, if you have expertise in all these things, 6 years down the line, you will be in a way highly paid job. I can guarantee you that. Because QA people these days, testing people these days are getting paid as much as the developers, the software developers. Because as the competition in the market these days for the applications which are available, we need expertise. Expert QA these days. Okay, so the career path of the QA people are as the development people. In some sense, is better than development people, because from the QA people, if you have good communication skills, analytical skills, you can think about end users very well. You can easily become a project manager. Because the basic requirement to become a project manager is understanding the end users. And if you are handling a project and understanding what these are, understanding what the project is going to do and who are its end users, so be it a QA member, makes it a very good domain to become a project manager for any particular project in your company. So it's very, very essential. It's highly paid. So talking about automation experts, we have different automation tools available, which I told you, Selenium is one of those two. I just showed you a demo section about in the high level. I showed you Eclipse where you run your code and you automate your code and all those things. So Selenium is a popular tool. the most important tool in the market these days. You're going to know that. I just want to give you a high level. So automation experts are highly in demand these days, as much as project managers and other architects. Okay, the automation expert, architects, architecture, performance expert, they're highly in demand these days in the industry. So actually, the profile of automation and test architecture are very much related to each other because both of them create framework. They create framework. All right? Both of them create framework. Test architecture, automation expert. The profile always looks alike because both of them create a framework and they build for that particular activity in your industry. All right? They build all those things. So now talking about performance experts. There comes about performance testing. Talking about tools of JMeter, I told about JMeter, the tools they use for performance testing, which you download on your system. You start doing automation, performance testing of that particular application. That is a tool you download on your system. And when you get to that point, it's called JMeter, which is popular in the market. We have JMeter, we have a BlazeMeter. Okay, we have also different types of performance tools which are available. So what performance testing basically does is that I just explained to you in high level. I said if you have very large number of users, we have millions of users are going to hit a particular website at that same point, same amount of time. So how is the website going to behave? How your mobile application is going to behave? So these are the kinds of things performance testing experts usually do. Again, this is very, very popular profile right now in the software testing industry because of the demand in the market. So there are a lot of people that want to become performance experts, but before you become performance expert, you should know all areas of manual testing, which I'm explaining to you today, because it is the building block. It is what the building block of any testing you have to do. You have to do manual testing for it. Query, questions? All right. So QA experts. What is QA? What is QC? What is different between QA and QC? Anyone knows? Please be vocal, ask questions. Tell me, unmute yourself. What is QA? What is QC? Quality assurance and quality check experts. What do they do? What do you understand by QA? Your own name and language. What is it all about? Unmute yourself, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
To my layman approach, QA can be defined as testing the quality of a product or software. But on QC, checking quality of hard drive or physical products.
Okay. That's the work of the QA. When they have work of the QC, experts. Expertise in all these things. Anyone else? You guys have to talk. Be vocal, please. Ask questions. Talk. Let's clarify these doubts. What is the difference of QA and QC? We have knowledge about these things, please.
That QC was testing not only the quality of the products, but testing, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that's what I thought, that it was testing the methodology of how that product came to being. So that means you're testing the way and the method that was used to produce a specific software. And you're seeing how that method can be in control so that it would not have any faults. That's what I thought. Please correct me. This is just
one of the QA.
Quality assurance. I like he said, it was just testing the products, testing if it's good, testing if the quality is sound and it produces what you wanted it to do. So what did you manufacture it for? Is it doing its job? That's like he said, but the quality control was more of an ongoing thing. Like you're testing, okay, when we did it and the method that we're using to do it, is it still the legitimate or the good method to use? That was my assumption, but we're here for the class, so I think you'll be the one to teach this
All
one.
right. All right, makes your points. Okay.
Well,
I'll come
add
to that.
to add to my details, I think
Yes.
when we say QA, I think it helps business strategies though, from how it will approach a digital quality. Yeah, but on the QC, it helps the finished products to meet expectations.
Okay. Anyone else? We have to give your own detail. Everyone have to give his own explanation because you know about quality assurance, quality check. You see that words. It sounds alike, but the difference is. Let's go ahead. Anyone? You have to. Frank. Anyone?
Yeah. Yeah. The other lady said it correctly. Quality assurance is just trying to confirm if the product meets the requirement, while quality control is assessing the process of testing that product, the methodology.
To make sure it's really checked, really working towards the what is also intended to do. Okay, yes. Lastly, anyone else again from his own point of view? Yemi, are you there? Anyone else? So there are kind of differences between the QA and QC. Now let me just go with QA first. It's a quality assurance and QC quality check. Okay, these are different things. Quality assurance comes at each and every phase of any software development lifecycle. I always say that, but you guys are going to know that about that in the next section. Is a phase. As I told you, is a continual phase integration. So quality assurance comes in every phase of that particular SDLC. It comes in another phase, maybe different phases of that particular SDLC. It comes in all these particular phase of SDLC. So quality assurance means making sure that each and every phase of software development lifecycle, right things are happening. What we mean by right things is in quality assurance, in each and every phase, we do certain kind of testing. We don't have to wait before the product is created, before testing it. From the client, I'm gathering the information from that client, I'm gathering information from the business people, what they said in documentation, and gathering the information. So as a QA member, I will sit with the business analyst guys and I will make sure whatever requirement is coming to me, that is said is correct. Maybe client is not able to think from the perspective what QA assurance people can think of. Similarly, while creating a document, I'm going to help BA people to make sure they are getting the right kind of documents. I'll create the documentations. Why is this banking of America? Why? That's the bug. It's also banking. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's banking. Why must this text box, username and password, only accept only 4 numeric numbers? Because when I use this application as an end user, you can also accept more than 15 characters. Okay, make it 15. You create the documentation. That's a company invest more on QA assurance. Okay, because they query the documentation. That's the profile as a QA analyst. You have to query the application. And of course, in the testing phase, I will do the actual testing. Okay, so quality assurance people becomes the part of the SDLC, software development life cycle, as soon as the meeting with the client is scheduled. We are told that 70% of the work in the industry as a Q analyst is always meetings. So as soon as the meeting with the client is scheduled, we have to create this documentation. So QA people these days are very, very important. They start thinking like an end user. As I told you, this is 15 characters. Why 50? Why 50? Why 5 characters? Why don't make it 15? I use the end user and they're able to accept 15 characters. So QA people these days are very, very important. They start thinking like an end user right from the scratch. As soon as the idea of the product comes to your mind, what the QA expert is going to do, my QA expert is going to do these things. Is your product visible enough to handle these kind of things? Then only create a product, or otherwise don't create it. It helps in saving costs. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean by that. If your product, your application going to have this one, if you don't have, don't create it. That's what QA do. It will help in saving costs in the initial phase only. In the initial phase, the quality assurance people is going to tell me, customers are going to think this particular way for each product. You should design properly. For this product, for this customer, it should design properly. If you can't design, dump this idea. So QA person will save my cost in first phase itself. I don't need to invest more on the expertise. Since this is not relevant, so dump it. Why am my company going to invest in more of these things? So that you help the company to save more cost. I've not spent a penny on business analysts or business analyst people or the developers. So it's a huge lot of savings for my company. Well, that's what QA does. That's a profile. Don't spend much amount of money in these things. If you can't develop this, there's no relevant for you to do that. So dump it. Why? I save my company a lot of dollars. I don't need to invest more money on automation expert and no, we don't need to do that. So QA people have to save a lot of costs because you are thinking as the end users. So QC experts, QC does that. QC quality control comes during the testing phase. I once told you about STLC. Someone will say, what's the STLC? Go and say that. Software testing life cycle. This is your face. Business people, QA people, testing people, your face. This is your meaning. STLC. So QC expert, quality control comes during the testing phase only. What kind of testing is happening? If the customer's requirement that they are going to log into the system, 100 users at a time, that will be visible or not. That will be possible or not. If I'm doing the testing, I'm doing it in the correct platform. These are the rules of QC experts. QA, QC, QA are two different kinds of things. Both of these things are very, very important. You can become that as well. Your career path as a software testing, okay, as the QA testing, you can become part of that in your career path. So when you are starting your career up to 5 years, 5 to 6 years, all you have to focus on is keep on learning, just like a skill. It's just like a skill. Okay? You keep on learning. Skills, you move from one phase to the other. All right? All right? You still moving from one phase to the other. It's just like a skill. When you are starting your career up to 5 to 6 years, all you have to focus on is keep on learning different kind of testing. I'm not saying you should just learn automation testing, manual testing. Okay. So if you can say that, you can see if I should go to, let me go to, you see Indeed or Google. You can see it's a QA automation, social analysis. You see, this is Houston. You can see the job requirements and everything on Indeed. Posted, you can see it government test cases as well, creating another software of it. You see all these things, accessibility metrics. You can say I create a framework. You see that software development life cycle, SDLC. It's all these things. You see a lot of jobs posted here. And the QA, this is 15 hours. So you see, it's the only there. If you go to most the job site here, is it Monster or the what just we have here? Is it Indeed or Monster? You can see your job posting right here on the QA on these different areas. You can see that the QA is highly needed right here. So that's just your profile as a QA. Okay. So that's the difference between your QA analyst and that of the QA QC expert. So guys, do you have any questions to that, your career paths in the QA software testing? You can meet yourself and ask questions, please. Let me clarify to you. Any question, guys? Larry, do you have any question? Your career path, any question? Any guys? First one.
No questions on my part.
Anyone have any question on the career path? So I clarify to you. This is how we want you guys to understand your career path, what you're going to embark into. Whether it be a test architecture, you're a project manager, automation expert, performance expert, QC expert. So this is a highly paid job in industry. So you got to know about all these things. Fair bit of all these things, then you'll be in a highly paid job in industry. Please be vocal, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. If you have any doubts, clarify you right here.
Sorry, I want to ask.
Sections. Yes, I'm listening.
I want to ask, is software testing in any way related to maintaining the software?
The word software testing is related to what?
Maintaining software in general.
You talk about maintaining the software. It depends on the deal we have with the product people, the clients. How long you going to maintain that particular applications? So you understand that when you talk about SDLC. I don't want to go into high level, so I don't want you to get twisted about it. So you got to understand that when you're doing your SDLC and the different phases of SDLC, okay? So you understand how maintenance of that particular application will take, okay? So it's probably the deal you have with the clients, okay? Is a phase, different phase of SDLC. Depending on the one the company is embarking on, what kind of methodology they want to embark on, what kind of they want to implement. So you got to know that in the next section, okay? So that's going to be clarified to you. Anyone else? Okay, Monica. Or meet yourself.
My question is there possible for us to have maybe a downloaded handout where we can always refer to if we want to refresh ourselves with what was learned in the class? Do we have a handout, like a give out handout,
yes,
where we can go?
You're gonna have the recorded video, and also going to share the handouts. And also, if I have a lot of points right here, I'm going to send you handouts though. Yeah, I'm going to send. And they also, if you also follow me on Indeed, I always share my my resource to my followers. They follow my resource. A lot of resources being followed. I used to post a lot of resource. They always get on different interview questions, major test interview questions, and people followers follow me on that. So on Python, on Java, manual testing, interview questions, and everything. So my SQL for those going for level to cybersecurity, different questions we ask. So I used to share a lot of PowerPoints on the source to my followers on LinkedIn. So on the profile, and when you be going to the market, I will do your resume for you, create a LinkedIn profile, because most interviewers, most recruiters, they look up to you on LinkedIn. You have to have a LinkedIn profile. Yeah. So when you create your profile on LinkedIn, they look for you right there. Okay, and you share your resume on LinkedIn or Indeed.com, Mustard, and different job postings. They call you. You receive a lot of 25 missed calls every day when you go into the market. Every day. for different jobs. In this Dallas Metroplex we are in, a lot of jobs here, right? Thousands of jobs. So follow the classes, follow the
I don't know
recordings,
if
follow
you
the
guys can
resource.
hear me.
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, please. I've been trying to say something, but I don't know. My laptop was not working, so now I'm using my phone. And I know it's
Okay.
early, and I don't want anybody to see that I'm rude or I'm trying for like the resource person is a close friend, somebody I work with. We have to beg him to do this, and from what he told us, to download the Zoom and recording, pay for subscription. So please, we are not paying for the cost. We are just going to support him, no matter, even if it's $10, whatever it is you have, like till when the cost is going to be over. Let's will not pay from his own pocket to subscribe. That's my contribution, please. Not for people in Nigeria. I'm talking about people here abroad.
Yes, the cost is very, very, I mean, it's lengthy. I mean, it's cost expensive though. When I did mine, I paid $1,000. Okay, but I didn't pay off in the go. I paid a thousand. I think I paid $2,000. I'm going to bring somebody who is already working in the market, who is already working in the job market. You ask him questions. How is he like in the job market? How is his job? She's in Houston there. The next session we're going to ask him questions. We're going to be in the class so you can ask her questions. How it's going to be, and numerous of them there in the market already. So it costs about $1,000 to do this software testing course, but I'm doing it for you guys. I'm not getting anything from you guys, and I want you to go have a job, and you guys have to exceed in it. So what you guys going to do is that you're going to get paid for the Zoom class. I mean, for the recording, so you can get it. So I'm happy you guys so you can get you can change up your career and move on to the next level. Okay. So
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you. So I want you to take advantage of it so you can see the needs. Okay. So take advantage of it. Nobody has to prepare anything, but take it as if you are in school. Have 3 to 4 hours of your time. Take 3 hours of time, take notes, you get the recordings, take notes of everything. I'm going to share a lot of
thank you very
I'm going
much.
to share a lot of
thank you so much, Stanley. And to add to what the lady just said now, because I know it's like there's certain amount for you to get into Zoom, if I'm right, and for you to use your own your own discretion to help people, I think it's a plus. If we can just find, just like what she said, if we can find just little thing, we here in the United States, at least $20 or something, 50, depends, any amount, for us to support Stanley for the Zoom, because Zoom, I know Zoom costs some money for you to.
Just pay for your Zoom. Is that like, it's like 200 or 150 for the 6 months, So help it because the length of your course, so you can have all your cloudings.
Yeah, I'm just talking voluntarily if you want to support there, because this is a career, and this is something everyone going to benefit and be part of it forever. So we really appreciate that effort. Thank you so much.
So I've compiled minor testing interview questions for you. Because they ask interview questions for you for manual tester. You say that what they ask, we're going to fit all these courses. You say what is defect, bug, they ask you all those things. Tell me about yourself. We have all those stuff, When you're going to hit the market.
Can we print out this document?
Yeah, I will send this to you when you're about to hit the markets, okay? When after your course of training.
Okay. And again, you don't have our email, or still on everything's going to be on WhatsApp?
No, I will send you an email. When you guys are ready for the hit the market after your course of training, I will have a one-on-one meeting with you and have interview questions with you.
Fine. Yeah.
Interview you, what you're going to do in the markets. You'll see your own course.
Exactly, because these are very important documents. Yeah.
Yeah. For those going automation tester, these are manual testing interview questions. Take a compile over how many questions? 90 questions, 100 questions. I know them. If you see that on my LinkedIn profile, people are sending a lot of resources for my followers. They get general bug creation in Selenium, all those interview questions, software testing types, all those things. We're going to treat them in this class. Bug life cycle. Someone was asking about SDLC. You're going to say everything about SDLC. There are a lot of ways you have to treat bugs with your Jira. If you're in a Scrum team, you're going to be in a Scrum team, okay? Scrum team made up of, I feel like you have anything about DevOps guys, development and operation guys, DevOps engineers. We have those DBAs, database analysts. They are there in a Scrum team. So we have QA guys there, so BA guys, so in a Scrum team. So there, someone asked a question about what a timely manner this software have to be delivered. So you have your two-way iterations. So you want to treat all these things in the class, okay? You go by two-way iterations, we go on vacations and all those things. We have to deal with this software. We have to deploy this software in a timely manner, take your two-way iterations. Then the process goes on again and again. You start working on the software, the software, working software. All these things we're going to deal with all those things. We have your Scrum team, agile methodology, the process also. Okay, agile methodology is not a SDLC, it's a different phase. Okay, so 90% of industry use agile because anything that works fast is very popular. So agile Scrum team, we're going to talk about that in the course of study when it comes to that section of agile methodology, what to do in your day-to-day activity in agile. So everything is here right here. I used to share that if you follow me on my LinkedIn profile. We're going to do resume building for you guys, interview questions for you guys as a manual tester. You see all these interview questions I've compiled with you guys. What is Jira issue tracking tool, and all those stuff they ask you. They'll see abundant charts, everything. We'll do that in the class, course of study. And we have, for those going to automation, we have Selenium, we have Java questions. I've compiled Java questions for you. What is Java? What is object in Java? What is class in Java? What is, as automation, this is what you want to know as a Java. And I told you about Selenium, which is our Biden tool, is what's the use of automation, what is Selenium, what it entails, what are components of Selenium. All these interview questions is being I've compiled with you guys. So you guys don't need to fear anything. Just focus, have 3 to 4 hours of the time to study. If you study, writing notes, definitely you get a job. Definitely, I'll show you that.
Yeah, Stanley, on most of the Selenium, the Jira, they are separate software. So yeah, so are we going to
you get to that. You get to that.
Okay,
yeah,
no
you get
problem.
to that. You just
I'm not trying to jump, I'm just trying to
don't
add
try to
because
jump.
I know it requires
Selenium,
a lot of
manual
software.
testing. Manual testing as to you, manual testing is a building block. Okay? It's a building block of any type of testing. Anything comes into it, you have to do manual testing of it. So you don't need to jump, you don't need to get scared of it. So start with manual testing. I started with manual testing before moving on automation, starting kind of tools, Java, and all those stuff like that. You start from scratch. So I make it understand to you. You're going to love it. You're going to like practicing it. And it depends who teach you. So I don't think anything is, there's nothing impossible. It depends how you've been taught. Okay.
Right.
So I know you guys understand from the demo session what manual testing is and your career path and everything. So I mean, you able to understand what it's all about. That's why I said everyone should attend this section, so you know what career path you're embarking into. It can be a project manager, it can be a test architecture, it can be automation expert, performance expert, QC expert. So all these things will be clear to you at that stage. Anyone else have any question? So the cloud, the Zoom meeting will be sent to you. The cloud, the recordings will be sent to you.
Yes, that's that. Are we going to get the recording immediately after the class?
Exactly. Get the recording immediately. You get the recording immediately.
Okay, that will be fine.
Yeah. Every class, you get the recording inside the class. Okay. Frank, you have any question? Anyone else? Olu, you have any question?
So how often are we going to do this class? Is it every Sunday? Or?
For manual testing, it takes 6 weeks. Okay, 6 weeks, Mondays, Saturday and Sundays. Okay, 6 weeks. So once you get your recordings, take a note, write a note, shoot me a question, any queries, let me know in the chat box on your WhatsApp or wherever. I will get to it. Like my school,
So what's the duration of each class? The duration?
2 hours. 2
Okay,
hours.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's
2
fine
hours
because
every Saturday.
because I know everyone has different time, so everybody has things to do. Because when you devote your 2 hours, you're gonna turn off everything and devote for that 2 hours to focus on that. So maybe we don't want it to be extreme or late. So maybe we should work on that.
Yeah, for those in Nigeria, that's why I have to put it earlier on so that you can even fall asleep. And for those in Nigeria, let me tell you that you can get a job anywhere. Apart from those in US, there are a lot of jobs in US. I have a colleague, he's in India. Right, can you mute yourself, please? All right, I have somebody in India, okay? He's in India and he left in India and he got a job. He got a job right here in the States. All right. The US immigration is filing for H-1B visas. So he got a job in India as a software tester, QA automation engineer. He's currently in New Jersey right now, working in New Jersey, filing for H-1B, filing for H-1B work automation. All the way from India, he got a job done to US. So it's not a green card holder. Nothing, has nothing. So you, a US citizen, or you, a US green card, or you, a resident, someone over in India, they get a job. So how much you? How much you? To me, I look at it as a big slap. We have opportunity to get these jobs and everything. So someone out there, they are getting the jobs. All over, you see, in the IT industry, Indians are flowing everywhere. I took it on myself to make sure that we are Nigerians, you have to get into the industry. There are a lot of jobs right here in this Dallas metropolis, not to come even in other city in California or New Jersey. When you're going to hit the market, you're going to see a lot of jobs calling you in. It's going to take like 20 or 25 missed calls every day for jobs calling you, scheduling an interview for you. So your own prospect right now is to like take a note, watch the video, take a notes and everything. If you don't take a notes, you're not going to get a job. That just is because you're going to forget all those things being taught. Take a note, practice. Definitely you will get a job. Definitely, I'll show you 100% you get a job. A lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. If Indians are getting a job all the way from India down to the United States on H-1B visas, how much you? So for those in Nigeria, jobs will call for you anywhere you are. I have a friend that got a job in Australia, all the way from Nigeria, right from your bedroom, jobs will call for you. Software is everywhere. They need a tester. They need someone to assure that particular product. If you know expertise on all these things, you'll be smiling. All right? So just take a note. Take it as if you're in school. Okay? Take notes, write notes and everything. Take notes and everything. When you get into the market, these are typing questions that we ask you. And definitely you get hit the market.
So the next class will be on Saturday, right?
Yes, Saturday class will be Saturdays, and so just try to set a lot of things and the Zoom class and all those stuff like that, so you can get your recordings and everything. So
okay,
we get everything paid off, so you guys can be getting nobody. Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
I think the next class we should leave it at 3 to 5, so that people too can have at least that grace of 2 hours, so that they can go to bed.
Yes. Yes. I want to give it
2 hours. You said 2 hours.
Yes, it will be 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. so they have time to not do it so late. Or to almost schedule something earlier so that those outsiders will be able to join and not falling asleep. But definitely you always get the videos after immediately, like 5 minutes or 3 minutes after the class, you get the videos. She'll be sending the videos to you on the profile on your platform. You're getting the videos. And you guys have to decide and have a forum. Have a platform for yourself where you can be able to learn and able to interact with each other. It's just a kind of platform on the WhatsApp where you're able to do assignments, because a lot of assignments, when you're going to SQL, I'll be giving you guys a lot of assignments. Assignment that you'll be comfortable in interviews. I want you to be comfortable, relax yourself, you know everything. you don't have any issues when it comes to interview questions. I want you to be when time for interview, you have to print out those interview questions and everything, have it hand to hand, read it, memorize it, work on it, practice it. You're fine. This is just exactly what they ask. There's no different thing. You're going to film your LinkedIn profile. I already shared a lot of documents, resources on LinkedIn, interview question, resources on LinkedIn. So you download that, print it out, work, read it, practice on it. Job is not a piece of cake. You get a job. A lot of jobs. Yeah, it's a lot of jobs. If there's no job, I won't tell you. A lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. You need Dallas Metropolis. Not to call people in Indiana or California. A lot of jobs. For those that want to relocate to Atlanta, a lot of jobs right there. They call you. They tell you that your job is in Atlanta. A lot of jobs tell you that it's remote. A lot of jobs tell you that it's high. Because of COVID, it's very kind of difficult to get a remote job right now. Most jobs are hybrid. My job, I resume work by 9, or sometimes I take meetings. I do meetings of driving to the traffic by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, get to the office by 9 o'clock. I don't do that. So my manager told me to stay at home and do the meeting at home. They are doing work by 11 a.m. in the morning. I go to work by 11 a.m. in the morning, and 11 a.m. in background making and this thing there is kind of empty. Everywhere is empty. I must tell you, everywhere is empty. There's nobody there. There's nobody there at all. It's just few people. So I get there by 11 o'clock, and stay till 1 o'clock. I come back home and continue from home. Nobody, even your manager is not even there. Nobody's monitoring your, or why you are living or you work. Why are you? Nobody even this. I don't even see my manager face to face since I started work. She's in California. The other one is in Plano branch. I'm in Addison. We don't even see. We meet online. We do meetings online with the BA people, with DA people, some people in India, some people in the Netherlands. So we do meetings online. So nobody monitors you. Nobody check you where you're going on. No, just do your job. I get back home, but IT industry make you lazy. I swear to God, you make you lazy. So you have to get another job so you keep you active. You're just getting the money, but you're just lazy. Stay at home. So just take advantage of it. And just it. By 1 o'clock or 2 p.m., you're done. You just start to running whatever you're running, everything. Most of the job I told you is just 70% of your job is meetings. 30% of the job is just testing your applications. Everything is working fine. That's just it. It makes you lazy. It makes you lazy. You're just getting the money, but it makes you lazy. You have to do it for another job just to keep you active. Any more questions, please? So we can quickly round up. Nika, do you have any question? Olu, do you have any question? Damn, you want?
Yeah, so far so good. I'm fine.
Okay, you guys have heard about it. Yes, I can listen. Okay, I'm listening. You have any question?
No, I said I'm thank you.
All right, that's just it. All right. So Saturday and Sundays, we said the time earlier on for those that are to join. So you can see this diagram, development and
Sorry,
testing.
Stanley.
Okay?
Yes. The Saturday is the same 3 o'clock?
I mean 2
yes,
p.m.
It's earlier. Yes, 3 o'clock. It will be earlier.
Okay.
So guys out there can join and falling asleep. Okay, but you get the videos. So you can see this diagram here. You can see development and testing. Here is the programmer, which is the developer. Now this is you. This is you, the tester. So what can someone tell me about this diagram? What do you see in this diagram? What are you guys doing in this diagram? Yinka?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
One is trying to, one is a developer. building the application, and one is testing to check the bug of the application.
Okay. Okay. Frank, anything?
So me as a tester, that's the tester. The one on the right is a tester. Yeah, trying to check the bugs, test cases, and all that.
Anyone else? What do you see here from diagram?
I think the tester, so the developer is doing the program, preparing it for the person, but for the customer, right? The tester is sitting like the customer. So the tester is going to be testing like the end user.
Yes, you guys are right. Anyone else? Please be vocal. Don't say what you see. Say something, say something. All right? That's what it is in the industry. All right? Be vocal. Communicate, please. Talk. You have to talk. Don't look at anyone that is my senior in the industry. You have to say something. Correct it when you found it. You have to help the industry to save
just like what you wrote down. You said they have a different path though, but they're trying to achieve the same goal. Yeah, to get a quality product for the clients.
Yes, one is trying to do his own, the one trying to do his own thing. Okay. So the basic difference between software tester, software developer is software developer thinks, how am I going to make a software? And why thinking like this, he will make n number of errors. And if this n number of errors goes to the market, the application is going to crash on the first day itself. That is why software testing is very, very important. What you see as the end products in the market is not actually reality. It's not actually. It's not so. What you see in the market is not an actual reality you are seeing in the market. When the software is being created, there are various errors in it. Okay? So, as a software tester, you have to make sure that when it goes to end customer, to the end users, to the end customer, there are no errors which are present in the application. So the difference between development people and testing people is the testing people, while looking at the software, you just have to think, how can I break it? I want to break this thing. I want to break it. That's what you're thinking. A software developer is, I want to build this application. He's building it, but you're thinking how to break it. That's make you a good software tester. You just have to think, how can I break it? That is only requirement from your side as a profile to be a very good software tester. You should think when this software is going to break. Suppose the developer said in the text box, like your Gmail, like your Gmail now, make your bank application, maybe your Gmail, your text box, is a text box, your login, like a username, password. Okay. So what the developer said in the text box is maybe he said 2 + 2 = 4. Right? He said 2 + 2 should come out as 4. That is the only thing that is in the text box. Okay? So you may think to test this simple text box as, what if I say 2 + 2? If a user enter this text box as 2 + 2, but the developer is saying 2 + 2 should be equals to 4, right? 2 + 2 should be equals to 4. What if I say 2 + 2, that is 2 numeric number and alphanumeric. Please don't even think out of the box, but you are thinking out of the box. So how is my software going to behave? What if the user entered 2 plus 2? What he's saying 2 plus 2 equals to 4. Numeric numbers. But what you try with alphanumeric numbers, you are thinking how to break the box, how to break that particular code. How is it going to behave if user is going to make that kind of errors? Try to enter that particular application with those alphanumeric numbers. How my software will behave if I say 2 plus 2 alphanumeric numbers. So that's just the difference between the software developer and the software tester. You as your profile, always thinking out of the box, always thinking how to break that particular code. You do a lot of computation and combinations. Then you raise a bug. How to raise a bug, we discuss in our next section. Any question, guys? Yes, want to say something? I want to take your queries before we end the class. You just have some few minutes to end. It's
No,
almost past 6. Any question? I want to clarify your doubts. Mr. Frank, you have any question? Nika, you have any question? Anyone else?
Yeah, no for now. Thank you.
Okay. So we're gonna be our we're gonna be our curriculum. We're gonna learn. We're gonna look into our curriculum. We're gonna do manual testing complete coverage, what we are doing right now. We're going to do manual testing complete coverage. We're going to do a lot of functional testing, non-functional testing, scientific testing, all these kind of technical interview questions. I'm going to do API testing. I told you about API testing, using manual, what I call Postman. They put a tool called Postman to do my API testing. You're going to see that in this course curriculum. You're going to do database testing using SQL. SQL is a structural query language, all right? So you query the data, it gives you your desired output. We're going to do that in our curriculum because our organization, be it healthcare, be it university, the educational sector, be it you're working in CRMs, you're working in the healthcare sector, whatever, they store their information in the database, in the server. So you have the SQL to create those servers. Yeah, server don't understand any other language than SQL languages. So you get to do SQL queries. We won't do that in the course curriculum. So automation testing, I told you about Selenium. I'm going to give you the basis of it. For those that want your interest to migrate to automation testing, and then Selenium by the Java. Selenium is an automation tool where you're able to test scripts, and I just show you in a high level. I showed you the Eclipse where I run the test code, and it type into the text box without any manual intervention. You see that. So we're going to do a basis of it, and for those who want to go in fully of the field of a career of being an automation engineer, you're going to see that. But right now, you're in manual testing. We're going to do that. So agile methodology, someone was telling about agile. Agile is an offer. 90% of industry goes to agile because anything fast is going to be very, very popular. So agile is a kind of agility is kind of a kind of methodology that the industry uses. So agile, we're going to learn about agile, Scrum, Scrum processes that are going there in our curriculum. So we're going to learn different tools. Why you want to do different tools about Jira. Jira is kind of a different tool where you use to raise your bug. Yeah, Bugzilla. The Postman is a tool you want to download in our system If you don't have a laptop, try to get a laptop because you're going to download a lot of tools which you work with. And typically, you use it in your industry while you're working in the industry using Postman. Selenium is another tool which is popular in the market, which you use for automation. As an automation engineer, you should know about Selenium as an automation tool using a WebDriver and all those stuff like that, which will automate your tool. Don't get it twisted. It's going to be very easy for you to understand. Don't follow the course outline, follow my explanation, get it, write a note down, practice, perfect, and you'll be perfect in it. And be so confident when you're sitting on your interview panel. So confident because you have your interview questions with you and everything, study it. You'll be confident, definitely you're going to get a job. So these are those tools going to download their machine, their system, so you learn all those things. So these are what you're going to do in a course curriculum. So what is actually required from you as an automation tester? One, you should have passion for it. If you don't have passion for these fields, there's no job for you. You have that passion. I want to upgrade my passion. I'm tired of this particular $40 an hour job or $45 an hour job or $35 an hour job. I want something higher than this. I want something that is 75. I want something like 65. I want something like 100. So you have passion for it. I think I would say anger is the gift of God to man. If you're not angry in your position where you are, you remain where you are. You watch the video I just sent to you. You need to take the bull by the horn. Okay, so you need to move from one point to the other. It's just anger. I'm tired of where I am. I need something more better than this. So that passion, if you have that passion, then you're going to succeed in this field. Then your attitude towards it. You pick up a note, you write a note, you practice, and every time you do a lot of things and all those stuff and take notes and practice. Don't depend on my videos. Don't depend on my lectures. Go to YouTube video, do your own personal research and compare what we do in the classes. As if you're in school, do your own personal research and take a lot of notes and everything. Definitely you get a job. So that's what's required from you. And finally, good communication skills. That's how I was telling you in the class. You guys have to communicate, talk, say something, say something, say something. You have to communicate. Even in the industry, that's far your test lead is far ahead of you. He has more skills, he has more experience and everything. You are a junior tester. Definitely, if you see something, say something. You have to communicate. You have to contribute in the business meeting. Okay, say something. You might say your user's thing is going to make sense at the end of it. All right, say something. You learn from that. All right, so that's what we require from you. You have to have analytical skills. You have to be able to analyze some things. How the end user is going to behave when you just think, build some communications. Okay, so that's what required for you in this case. You don't need any technical skills to be part of manual testing or anything. You start from the scratch from this course of study. Okay, so these are what's required from you: verbal and written communication skills, passion, technical skills, analytical skills, attitude towards it, your productivity, all the time you to do. Your productivity, how did you solve all this in your industry, so before you to succeed as a good software tester. All right, so I'll be ending for the class for today, and then we'll start the main section in next section. And anyone have any questions, you just say it right now before I end the class. And the videos will be sent to you, and you have all recordings. Someone will be sending you for your recordings, and then you pay for the platform. It doesn't cost a lot, okay? So you can get your recordings and study on your own. If you guys will come come one-on-one to yourself and form a platform where you guys will be doing your assignment together, communicate, because it's a communication skill. Is a software industry, software testing is a group of, is a team of people trying to work out to build a particular working software. So you guys used to start from now, read together, study together, communicate together. Definitely you will get a job. That's just there's no doubt about it. So that's just it. Anyone have any question before any class? You have anything, just say right now. So communicate, ask questions. A few minutes we have right now before any class. Frank, you have any question? Nika, you have any question? Monica, you have any question? Uche, anybody have any question? We have 16 people in the platform right now. So let's say ask questions, your career path, what is API, what is software testing, what is anything, just ask so before we end the class. Olu, do you have any question? Anyone? Ezekiel, do you have any question? Mayor?
I'm good. No question.
Nikki, you have any question for the names? I want to be clarified so everybody is in the same goal, in the same platform. Mamida, you have any question? I hope everyone is good. I hope everyone.
How much did you say we have to pay to get the recordings again? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just assuming, just to get your cloud recording so you can get your cloud recording.
No, the amount for the recording, there's no particular amount. Is either $10 or $20, whatever you have, just to support
it's for the whole 6 months or whatever. For those that want to go into automation, it just pay one time. That's it. The class is it costs expensive.
Okay, 200. You said 200.
Guys.
Hello, Stanley.
Yes, yeah.
Stanley.
Yes.
You said 200 is for the whole 6 months.
For the Zoom class.
Yeah, so whatever.
Yes, for your 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
And you guys are going to pay before the 6 months.
So
I mean, for those that are doing manual, it's for those that want to migrate into automation. They continue, they still have the privilege to get it again, don't need to pay anything, just to continue in Java, Selenium, running codes and everything. So they don't need to. That's just so for the whole 6 months. You get your recordings anywhere, download it, and you watch and everything. Take notes. Take note. That's just the point. Take note, practice. You definitely get a job. Interview question will be sent to you when it's time for you to hit the market. And when you prepare your resume for you hit the job market, LinkedIn profile and everything, have a one-on-one interview with you before you hit the market. What kind of interview question is being asked you and everything, just there in your hands. Go to is it Home Depot or UPS store? You can print all these interview questions, have it hand to hand, spend time, practice reading all the time. When you are reading all the time, you are conversant with it. Okay, because what you read all the time, when they ask you, it's just your part of you, it's just your part of everyday life. So you see that every day. So when they ask you the interview questions, you're able to say it the way it is because it's just what you see in your. For those going for SQL questions, have SQL questions fired up. What is select? What is group by statement? How to query the server? It's quite different between kinds of joins. You're going to see that when we start going to SQL. Okay. So for those going for Java class, Java have Java questions piled up. Java question is there for you to study. So print it out. Okay. What is class? Why the main method is void in Java? So what do you use as a method in your projects? So what is interface? Everything we will do that when we start doing Java class. So we start from scratch. What is an interface? Can you tell me what is abstract in Java? What is static method in Java? Everything we start from scratch for Java. You understand Java? Don't be scared. Okay? You understand Java? I just show you Eclipse. So these are just Java or your IDE where you write your code in your project. So it's not anything difficult. Just practice, understand it. So main thing you want to get your cloud recordings, okay? Study your own time. Give yourself 3 to 4 hours of time every day in studying. Don't think as if you're in school. Okay, so you definitely get a job in it. Anyone, any question? Frank, you have any question? Java class will also be for those that already migrated into automation. Java class will only be on Tuesdays. They're going to be Tuesday morning. So I don't want you to taste it because you are just starting. So if you want to join, that's fine. If you want to join us, I don't want to get into hectic for you, but start with manual testing right now. Know the basics. It's a building block of any type of automation. Start from scratch. For manual testing, you go into database testing, query SQL queries and everything. So that's why the field of my automation testing, the QA analyst, you are vast. It's vast and promising because you can divide it to data science because you know about data, you know about database. You can dive into cybersecurity because you know a fair bit about cybersecurity because you know about cyber. Okay, so you can be a data analyst. Okay, you can know about data, you know about SQL. Okay, so you know Java, you can become a developer. You can be a project manager. So it's very vast and promising. Your field as a QA analyst, right? So that is just it. Anyone else? Any question? Our time is fast spent. Any question? About to end the class, you have any question?